Does your mind ever feel like a battlefield? Like you're being pulled in 1,000 different directions, reacting to every headline, every notification, and every minor setback with a fresh wave of anxiety? You want to be strong, but you feel fragile. You're searching for peace, but all you find is noise. What if I told you there's a 2,000-year-old code for building an unbreakable mind? A set of principles that some of the most resilient people in history, emperors, artists, and leaders, lived by. This wasn't some secret doctrine for the elite. It was a practical philosophy for anyone who wanted to find tranquility and strength in the middle of a storm. This is the philosophy of Stoicism. Today, we're unlocking that code. But we're not going to do it by adding more to your to-do list. Instead, we're going to do it by taking things away. We'll break down the 5 things a true Stoic refuses to do. These aren't just rules, they're declarations of freedom. By understanding and avoiding these mental traps, you can build the unshakable inner fortress you've been looking for. First up, the most fundamental thing a Stoic refuses to do. Be cruel. In a world that often mistakes aggression for strength, the Stoics knew that cruelty is the ultimate expression of weakness. It's a sign that you've lost control of your own character. This refusal is tied to the Stoic virtue of justice, the idea of giving every person and situation the fairness and kindness they are due. The Stoics believed in sympatheia, the profound idea that all things in the universe are interconnected, woven together like threads in a single fabric. To be cruel is to tear at that fabric, denying our shared humanity. An act of cruelty says far more about your own inner turmoil than it does about the person you're targeting. When you lash out, you're not showing power, you're confessing that you've lost command of your own mind. In practice, this means thinking before you speak and acting before you cause harm. It means choosing empathy over anger. When conflicts come up, the Stoic path isn't to respond with bitter rage, but with calm clarity. Remember Marcus Aurelius, who reminded himself every morning that he would have to deal with meddling, ungrateful, and arrogant people. He prepared not by becoming like them, but by recognizing they were all part of the same human family, however flawed. A Stoic knows that cruelty poisons the soul, and they refuse to drink that poison. The second refusal completely flips our idea of power on its head. A Stoic refuses to seek mastery over other people. Instead, they focus all that energy on mastering themselves. This comes from the most famous principle in all of Stoicism: understanding what is and is not in our control. You can't control another person's thoughts, feelings, or choices. Trying to is a guaranteed recipe for frustration. The desire to dominate, whether through force, manipulation, or even under the guise of caring, is a total misunderstanding of where real strength comes from. The Stoic turns that energy inward. Instead of trying to change their partner, they work on being a better partner. Instead of forcing their views on colleagues, they lead by example. Your responsibility is to your own actions, not the reactions of others. Now, this isn't about being a doormat. It means setting clear, firm boundaries without trying to police how the other person responds. You can state your needs, but you can't force someone to meet them. You can offer advice, but you can't make someone take it. Trying to control others creates chains for both of you. The Stoic seeks freedom, and that freedom starts by letting go of the illusion that you can or should control anyone but yourself. True power isn't dominion over others, it's dominion over your own impulses. This next one hits right at the core of modern anxiety. A Stoic refuses to live for external approval. They don't anchor their self-worth in the shifting sands of other people's opinions. Doing that is like handing the keys to your happiness to every person you meet. It's a violation of the virtue of self-control, which is about knowing what's actually worth having. Your inner peace is worth having. The applause of a crowd is not. The philosopher Epictetus taught that if you're ever tempted to look for outside approval, you've already compromised your integrity. So many of us are trapped in a cycle of people-pleasing, thinking it's a form of kindness. The Stoics would call it what it is: self-betrayal rooted in fear. We say yes when we mean no, we soften our beliefs to fit in, and we measure our success by the imagined judgment of others. Living the Stoic code means making choices based on your principles, regardless of who is watching. It means learning to say no cleanly, without a mountain of excuses. It means building confidence in your own judgment. Let people misunderstand you. Let them call you strange. Your tranquility is not up for negotiation. A Stoic's validation comes from within, from knowing they acted with virtue. That is the only approval that can never be taken away. If these ideas are hitting home, and you feel ready to reclaim your inner peace, take a moment to subscribe. We're building a community dedicated to applying this ancient wisdom to modern life. The fourth refusal is a masterclass in self-respect. A Stoic refuses to tolerate toxic behavior. This isn't about arrogance. It's about a simple, powerful truth: what you allow is what will continue. You teach people how to treat you, and a Stoic refuses to teach anyone that their peace comes cheap. As Epictetus warned, you have to protect your inner sanctuary, because some people will try to corrupt it. This means you have to get good at spotting toxicity, even when it's disguised as care. Manipulation isn't care, it's flattery used as a leash. Passive aggression isn't sensitivity, it's silence weaponized for control. Making you feel guilty for setting boundaries isn't love, it's an emotional burden someone else is forcing you to carry. Refusing to tolerate this doesn't always mean a big, dramatic confrontation. Often, it's a quiet rebellion. It is the simple refusal to engage. It's the boundary that isn't up for debate. It's the silent exit from a conversation that has turned disrespectful. You are not obligated to explain your standards. Every time you refuse to participate in toxic dynamics, you reinforce the message, to yourself and to the world, that your mind is sovereign territory. You are the gatekeeper, and you don't allow poison to enter. And that brings us to the fifth and, let's be honest, probably the toughest refusal. A Stoic refuses to trade their principles for comfort. The ultimate goal of a Stoic life is to live with virtue, guided by wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Comfort is not on that list. Life is always going to offer you the easy way out. The little lie to avoid a tough conversation. The silence when you should speak up for what's right. The path of procrastination, putting off the hard work for someday that never arrives. Each time you choose the comfortable path over the virtuous one, you're making a trade, a piece of your character for a moment of ease. The Stoics saw this for what it is, a fool's bargain. They saw adversity not as something to run from, but as the very thing that forges a strong person, just as fire is the test of gold. Obstacles don't block the path, they are the path. Every challenge is a chance to practice courage. Every temptation is a chance to practice integrity. To live by this code, you have to know what you stand for. You have to commit to your principles, especially when it's hard. It means choosing what's right over the sweet, numbing temptation to just not deal with it. A Stoic builds an unbreakable mind by consistently choosing character over comfort. So there you have it. The 5 refusals of the Stoic Code: refusing to be cruel, to master others, to seek approval, to tolerate toxicity, and to abandon your principles. This isn't a list of restrictions meant to shrink your life. It's a blueprint for liberation. It liberates you from the tyranny of other people's opinions. It liberates you from the exhausting and pointless effort to control what you can't. It liberates you from relationships that drain your spirit and from the self-betrayal of living a life that isn't aligned with your values. Building an unbreakable mind isn't about adding more armor. It's about shedding the weight that was never yours to carry. It's about realizing the fortress you were looking for has been inside you all along. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and comment below with which of the 5 refusals you're going to start practicing today. And be sure to subscribe for more timeless wisdom on building an unbreakable mind. Your journey to inner peace starts now.